Alright, so I'm back, and today we're going to be taking a look at some Marvel Legend Wolverine figures that I have. This week I'm just going to be... I've got a few of these, kind of like a war video, which ones I like the best, of the Marvel Legends figures that I got in those boxes, so, for my friend Sammy. So, I'm just going to try and get through as many of these as I can over the course of the next week, because I'm kind of light on Transformers at the moment, until my next Big Bad Toy Store shipment can come in. So, anyway, so here we go. So here we got a bunch of Wolverines. We're going to push all these guys to the back here. We'll start with this one, because he was the closest. Now, I'm not 100% on this one, but I think this is probably like the ultimate version of Wolverine, because he's a little bit different. Let's see, who made this one? Hasbro. This is a Hasbro one. The earlier Hasbro figures, you can always tell that they did it because they have lighter skin tones that they're not quite right. So you know, you can see, like, here's Marvel Legends. So that's more of an appropriate color. And that's more like vampire color. But anyway, so yeah, he's got pretty decent head sculpt. Not my favorite. Looks like they kind of messed up some paint going along there. And there. They did a pretty good job here, making it look like he's got hairy arms. Other than that, and all of these Wolverines, their claws need to be adjusted at some point, so I'll do that in a repair bay video. But yeah, there you go. But yeah, all in all, he looks pretty good. Not my Wolverine of choice. I grew up in the 90s, so that's my Wolverine of choice colorations. Camera's being weird. Alright, so posability, his head is on a ball joint and hinge there. So you get the pretty good range of motion there. Shoulder is on a ratchet up and down. Goes in and out. There is a bicep swivel at the elbow. So that's actually pretty cool, because it kind of hides it pretty well. Bends at the elbow. It's ratcheted, so it only gets one bend, so it's either there or there. There is a wrist swivel right here, and then there's a hinge there, so you get that. He's got some really big claws, which is kind of nice. He's got an ab crunch, extreme ab crunch, goes all the way back there, all the way up like that. Swivels. Hips are on the universal joints there. And then there's a thigh swivel right here below the joint. Double bend knee. The foot swivels down here at the ankle. And there is a little bit of ankle tilt there. Not too much due to the cut. And no rocker. So this was before Hasbro figured out how to do the rockers really well. So yeah, all in all, it's a pretty nice figure. It's not my personal cup of tea, so this one's definitely not going to be in my collection, or my display collection anyway. But yeah, he's pretty cool. If you like this version of Wolverine, this would be a pretty good option. I think it's a pretty solid figure. I do like it. All in all, I'm gonna give him a 7 out of 10. Only reason why he's getting knocked is because, one, I do think these claws are a little bit too long for him. But mostly it's the peach is too off for me, even though my skin's pretty close to his skin tone. It doesn't feel right to me. So yeah, 6 out of 10. It's pretty, or 7 out of 10. He's a pretty decent figure. I like him. Next one we'll look at, next one on the pile. This is the Wolverine from Marvel Legends. I can't remember what series it was. Maybe Sentinel series. Either way, I think this is the Astonishing X-Men design, which is similar to the mid-90s one. So I actually really like this. So he's got some really good, like, he's got the good paint apps, obviously, but most importantly, he's got some really good sculpting. You can see, like, right here, it's like leather stitch going on down. And that's really nice. I like that. Skin tone is more appropriate for a more realistic character. He's got some nice detail on the face and the teeth. This one's a little mucked up. Waist swivel's really loose on this one, so I don't know if it's just my figure or if it's just kind of commonplace. But head up and down swivel, so it's got the universal joint there. I think probably a ball joint, I would imagine. But yeah, it gets a great range of motion there. Everything you really need. Shoulders are, they got the swivels, and they do rotate up and down. Good range of motion there. It gets a little hindered by the shoulder pads here. Bicep swivel, double bend elbows go not quite as far as you need them to, just because of the sculpt. It just either get stopped here, or you can try and move this back joint over one click and get it to there. It's not the greatest posability there, but it's decent. Wrist swivels. It's got the hinge. This is really pointless, but he's got a hinge on his fingers, so you can get there or there. It's kind of a worthless hinge, if you ask me. I would have preferred just give him some fists. He's got some nice claws. Again, mine are warped, but I can fix that. But yeah, they look pretty good. Ab crunch goes back about that far. Sculpt ends right there, so there's no detail hiding it. And it goes forward a little bit, so forward and back. It's just a little bit, not too much. Hips are on the universal joints. There's a thigh swivel, double bend knee. The swivel for the foot is inside the boots. That's actually really nice. I like that. He's got a pretty good ankle rocker. And then the foot is on a little bit of a ratchet there, and the toe does pivot just a little bit. All in all, he's a pretty good figure. My biggest gripe with him, which could be just this figure, is that loose waist. Maybe they made it loose so that he can look like he's swiping his claws really easily. And the hands. I think that was kind of a pointless point of articulation there in his hands. But yeah, all in all, I like how it's a more realistic take on him. So I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. He's pretty close to being a really good figure, or almost perfect Wolverine in my opinion. For me. All right, moving on to the next one. So right now, this guy is my winner so far. And we'll do a size comparison with everybody at the end. All right, so next up, this is definitely more of a classics 90s Wolverine. Who made this one? I don't see any. Oh, there they are. It's on there, but I can't read it. Oh, Toy Biz. So I don't know, where he comes from, but my biggest problem with him just right off the bat is here he is with the Astonishing X-Men one. is his size. He's huge. Let me get Spider-Man here. Real brief. So he's huge. Wolverine's supposed to be a shorter character. So that right there doesn't sit well with me that well. But yeah, he's got the classics 90 cartoon costume. His chest is sculpted at a weird angle, like he's reaching back or something. It's kind of weird. And I'm not a huge fan of that. But yeah. Really good sculpt work on the face again. Good job on painting the hairy arms. Looks like the shoulder's backwards here. Let's see if I can rotate that. There we go. Alright, so, but yeah, and he's got some ink wash and stuff going on here to make him look dirty. But yeah, I mean, I like the look of the figure. I'm just not a huge fan of that weird sculpt to the chest and the size of him. But head is on a ball joint, so it goes up, down, left, right. I think that's all it is. It's just a ball joint. No, it's a double ball joint. Ball peg goes into the head, and ball peg goes into the neck. So you get a good range of motion there. That's actually pretty good. Shoulders go up and down, in, out. Bicep swivel. There's a double bend elbow, which that sculpt looks terrible. To be honest, that just, I mean, wow. I mean, like with him, you know, it almost kind of carries over a little bit. So it looks like it almost flows a little bit better. But this one, I mean, it just cut right out. He's got a wrist swivel. Hands kind of falling out of the track here. He's got a hinge at the wrist, and then the fingers hinge here. Again, it's executed a little bit better than the Astonishing X-Men one, but not by much. Waist swivel, nothing at the abs. He's got universal joints on the hips. He's got the cut right here for the thigh swivel. Double bend knees. Swivel at the boot, or like halfway down the boot. Foot goes forward and back. No ankle rocker. And the toe is hinged, but it doesn't seem to move. So that's kind of stupid. All in all, I mean, I like the look of it, but I think the execution was pretty poor on this one. So I'm going to give him I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. I do not like this one. So, get him out of the way. Alright. Next up, we got Age of Apocalypse Wolverine. So, this is the same figure. Main difference is the head sculpts. So this is one where he was all burned up, and this is the regular one. And then this one has claws on his stump, and he does not. So, other than that, they're identical figures. So we're going to take a look at little grill face here. So yeah, he's got like I said, you know, he's got the face there. It's a little bit different. The face is a different peach tone than the rest of his body, which, I mean, I guess makes sense considering he's all roasted up. But he's on the typical head joint, so up, down, left, and right. He does have shoulder hinges here to kind of give him that bicep moving thing, which is kind of cool. Shoulder rotates up and down. Hinges up, down. There's a bicep swivel. Double bend elbows. No posability on... Oh, there it is. Yeah, he does have a swivel right at the stump. I wonder if this one does too. He does. So this actually rotates. Don't know why you need that, but it does. So on this side, he's got one right at the hand. No ankle or no wrist movement. Oh, he's got two swivels on the glove here. That's redundant. And then the fingers open close like the other Wolverines, the Astonishing X-Men one, and I don't like that. He's got a ball joint ab crunch, which is nice. Swivel at the waist. Hips rotate in and out, up, down. There's a bicep swivel, or a thigh swivel, double bend knee. Get you more than what you need for him. Boot swivel, ankle rocker. Swivels up and down, and then he does have the toe pivot. This is one of those. It's a good figure if you're into the Age of Apocalypse line. Not many Age of Apocalypse figures came out with Marvel Legends. I know we got Sabretooth and him and Nemesis or Holocaust, whatever you want to call him. I know we got him. So yeah, there's some choices out there. But if you're really big on it, then this is a good figure to buy. If not, then it's an easy pass. Don't look this thing up, because it's not the Wolverine that we're familiar with. I mean, even this one who's got similar hairstyles, it's not Wolverine. It's not the Wolverine we know. So unless you're big on that series, then I'd say this is an easy pass. And I'm going to give both of them 3 out of 10. All right, next up, we'll do a movie Logan, which kind of looks like Hugh Jackman, but not really. He's got these dinky little claws. I mean, those things are tiny. My rule of thumb is I like my Wolverine's claws to be about the size of his forearm, because that's where I would imagine that the claws would actually stay. So like, here's Astonishing X-Men one. There's the claws, forearm. So they're a little bit too long for the forearm, but this is like he could just put those claws into his wrist. So that's pretty pathetic. He's got a really weird peach tone on his arms and a different peach tone on his face, and a different peach tone on his neck, and it's very noticeable actually. So it's kind of stupid. He's got this soft floating plastic vest, which just kind of looks too big for him. It looks way too big for him. And he's got these little tiny arms in comparison to that jacket. I think if we take the jacket off, it'll look better, but then you get more of that peach tone that they couldn't match. But yeah, I'm already going to say this is an easy pass. Head is on a ball joint up here, and then the neck is on its own joint, swivel joint. So it's kind of funky. He's got what is this? Oh, he's got one of those stupid, where you just kind of use that to help swivel the figure. And he's got one of those, but his wrist or arms go up and down. There's a bicep swivel, double bend elbow, goes up and down. Wrist swivel, same thing on this side. And you can see there's a horrible cut in his wrist here to glue on the claws. It looks like he's got some sort of action gimmick. Because you can see I'm moving the waist and the fist is kind of moving. But this one's not moving. I think you'd think that this would be the one to move. Hips go up and down, in and out. There is a thigh swivel, double bend knee. There is a wrist swivel, and you can see the blues are different colors here too. Foot in and out, and there's a little bit of a rocker out, but not in. All in all, this is a terrible figure. I hate this thing. 1 out of 10. Do not. No, even if you love the movies, just don't do it. All right. Next up, we got another movie Wolverine, not Logan this time, but at least it's Wolverine. And yeah, this thing kind of sucks too. See, I'm trying to move his legs out, and they just go back. Okay. All right. So he's got the one of the X-Men uniforms from one of the movies. Blues highlight a little bit more because in the movies it was pretty much all black. His head swivels, and he's got one of those really shit-eating grins on there. I mean, that's that's kind of funny. Shoulders, universal joints, so up, down, and out. Bends at the elbow. No bicep swivel. There's a wrist swivel. Nothing at the hands. Waist swivel. Nothing at the torso. Hips go up and down. They are on ball joints, so they should go out a little bit, but they don't. And then bends at the knee. Foot swivels a little bit, and there's no ankle rocker. So I'm 1 out of 10 on that one. Next up, we got Logan from the comics. Now, one of them has this stupid jacket. The other one doesn't. Other than that, they're the same exact figure. But the jacket just looks stupid. I hate these things. This is like super soft rubber. I don't know. It feels like the dried out silly putty. But yeah, it looks stupid. If you get them, take the jacket off, which is what I did here. But we'll go over posability on this one. So he's got a really stupid face sculpt there. Days of Future Past Wolverine. I think that's what this is supposed to be. Head swivel side to side, up and down. He's got universal joints on the shoulders. Bicep swivel, double bend elbow, wrist swivel, hinge at the wrist, hinge at the fingers that don't really do you any good. Waist swivel. Okay, he's got one of those action gimmicks. So you rotate him like this. Joy. I hate those things. Ab crunch. Thighs, ball joints, swivels at the thigh, double bend knee. There is a swivel here, and the foot has a rocker, and there's a little bit on the toe. All in all, it's a terrible figure. I don't like this either. So, of the figures that I looked at, this one's going to be on my display shelf. That's no question there. I love that figure. And then this one's pretty good. The rest of them are pretty much easy passes for me. So we'll do size comparisons with these guys. Did I give score to the other Wolverine? 1 out of 10 on that one too. So here he is with the Hulk. And here he is with Spider-Man. And that's about where Wolverine should be. He should be a little bit shorter than Spider-Man. And a lot smaller than Hulk, because those two are enemies, and that was one of the great dynamics of that comic book, was Wolverine was so small, but he was more agile, his bones were indestructible, and he would regenerate, and he had the claws. So he was like the complete opposite of Hulk, so it made a really good fight. So if you are looking for like the ultimate version, then this is a good option. If you're looking for a classics version, I think this is probably the best one out there that I've seen. There could be better ones out there, who knows. This one has the best potential of the other ones, but ultimately I think he just suffers from the sculpt. I think that's the biggest problem there. But I mean, like, a pose like this is pretty awesome, but you can see like certain things are loose. So, but yeah, there you go. Wolverine War.